Hello, my name is Kirsten Larsen, and I'm going to be doing a presentation on my proposal, Methods of Communication to Accommodate Persons with a Hearing Loss at a Workplace. In the Rochester area, there are 3.5% deaf and hard of hearing out of 1.1 million. And in the U.S., there are 3.7% of deaf and hard of hearing people. In the Henrietta Rochester Workman's on Highland Drive, there are few deaf and hard of hearing employees. And the current procedure for employees to contact their employers to inform them they cannot come in, or come in late, or they're going to be late, or they need to request their schedule. And the problem with that is that a lot of the procedure requires calling them with your cell phone or house phone, and deaf and hard of hearing people cannot do that. They cannot hear on the phone, they cannot talk on the phone, which has an inequality where there should be equal access for all. And accommodating to the deaf and hard of hearing can increase the efficiency. And for my personal experience as an employee at Wegmans, there's a lack of accommodation, and when you can't, I've tried to contact them through email. They said I cannot do that. I've contacted my supervisor through text message when I knew that she was going to be there. They said I could not do that. So, for accommodations, they need to be able to have access that hearing people have, where we can contact them, need to be able to text them, we need to be able to email them. When we don't always have access to a video phone, which has a relay service where you can sign onto the computer or your TV, and then you can have the interpreter voice for you and then interpret what the other end is saying. Well, we don't always have access to that because we have to have our computer or have access to the TV at all times. And this often causes a hardship for deaf and hard of hearing employees. And so the best solution for equal access is to create an equal communication method for hearing, deaf, and hard of hearing. And this will eliminate any communication barriers for the deaf and hard of hearing and for the hearing people. And it also increases efficiency, because then the person can call and say, hey, I can't come in, something came up. They can actually call someone else to come in without having to figure out why the person didn't show up or whatever. So the solution would be to have all the managers from different departments like deli, cheese, bakery, front end, produce, seafood, and the area managers and store manager and all the deaf and hard of hearing employees, have them all together in one room, and everyone can talk about what's going on and talk about what causes problems and how to change that and how to eliminate any hardship. And so, for my idea is to have a computer-generated program that allows text messages. Like, a person can text message to the department that has their own phone number, and they can text and say, hey, this is Kirsten, I can't come in at my shift 2 to 9 tonight. And or they can have each department have a cell phone where they already have a phone but it doesn't have access to text messaging. So they can get a new phone that's like a smartphone or regular phone that has text messaging capabilities. And that will allow each person to contact their manager or supervisor through text message in an ideal time frame. Or we can also allow emailing if you have a certain time restriction, if you're at least 3 hours before you start a shift. The result of this would be increased efficiency because you're able to contact your employer, your boss, your supervisor at an ideal time frame and don't get in trouble. You have equal access for all, which of course is great because according to the ADA laws, we're supposed to have equal access. And there will be an increased appeal to the deaf and hard of hearing community in the Rochester area and to the employees and to the customers because they'll be interested in learning more about the deaf community. And Wegmans is known as the one main company to make it on the Fortune 100 best company to work for, like they've been for the past 18 years. So this will guarantee the future nominations of making it on the Fortune 100. So for the summary, Rochester area has one of the largest deaf and hard of hearing community in the United States, and there are a good amount of deaf and hard of hearing employees at Wegmans. So we would need the policy change in regarding to calling in, tardiness, schedule requests to have better communication, to have equal access and efficiency, and it will accommodate all the deaf and hard of hearing employees. And this is the end of my proposal. Thank you.